Really, we should review some of the greatest hits in that. Can you, oh, sorry, you were about to do that, huh? You could do it, sorry. Good. We're live?
Wow.
Wait, this is what I want to look at. Danny Mullen, no jumper racist. Because it's like, there's like a greatest hits compilation of different no jumper hosts trying to call you out for this.
600,000 views.
Sharp grills Danny Mullen about his racist past. One tweaker. Crip confronts edgy comedian about saying the N-word. Kiki on your own podcast. There is way more. Oh yeah. T-Rail asked Danny Mullen about allegedly pooping on an MLK monument.
There's
so many.
There was a short where T-Rail tripped me. They got a bunch of views.
T-Rail confronts Danny Mullen about using the N-word. There's like so many. It's like, listen. This is an edgy comedian right here. This is a guy who he's not following by any of these made up rules that society has. That's like, oh, a white man can't use the N-word. No, this is a guy who's a free speech advocate. You're like Kash Patel.
That's me, dude.
Yeah,
I absolutely the same as the Indian guy with the FBI. But also before 2020, white people could say the N-word, and obviously I never said it like to anybody's face or said it in a hurtful manner. Just
in a sneaky way.
Just in a sneaky way.
Under the covers at night, whisper it to your lover.
Exactly. It's sort of like masturbating in the room next to your parents when you're back home for Thanksgiving. That's sort of what it is when a white guy said the N-word. It was never, ever hateful.
I do that too. N-word edging.
N-word edging.
I'll sit in bed by myself.
Or just the end. Or just the. I was about to finish your, but I realized that could have been a problem on live.
Yeah, that would have been a thing.
On live broadcast. It could have been a problem. But like, it's interesting. There was a time when they were able to like make me feel guilty about it. And I don't even like to say it now ever. Because it's just, here's the thing. If you're like saying the N-word, even if you're backstage with a bunch of comics, because that's like kind of a thing, like in edgy comedian circles, then you get up on stage and you see a couple black guys, or you go out and film a video and you're joking around with some black dudes, you feel kind of like guilty for having said the N-word in private in like the last month. And it kind of fucks with you and you can't be as loose. So I do try to get it out of my vocabulary. But the idea that anybody who's ever said the N-word, that equals he hates black people, that's an insane notion that like I feel like after 2020, some people were able to talk me into kind of believing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've had a little bit of an awakening from. It's crazy to think that we were doing a podcast really during kind of the height of the woke hysteria.
Yeah. Because it took a while to like soak into culture.
Yeah,
and we were doing it in like 2022, which was the peak year, and then by the end of 2023, people had kind of had enough.
Yeah, and then we get Trump back in office, and now it's like I feel like we're 2 steps away from having the actual Constitution modified to include the R word, couple N words, etc. I think you know I could see that coming. No, but as far as my actual beliefs, I don't say the N word. I don't toy with it. But the idea that somebody
you were just toying with it when you going.
Okay, but that was like joking.
You were toying with it.
For the record, I would not actually edge the N word in my bed at night by myself. That was a joke. No, but I just like I think the idea that somebody like engaged in some racist comedy throughout their life or some jokes that might have like seemed a little bit over the line or whatever, like, honestly, who cares? I feel like I could forgive people for way worse. I feel like someone could have some legitimate hate crimes under their belt and you apologize, as long as no one died.
Well, I love the movie Boogie Nights, and that's got Mark Wahlberg, who everybody knows like blinded an Asian guy in Boston.
Was it an Asian guy?
I think he was an Asian guy. Yeah,
I thought it was some kind of minority, but okay, yeah, I recall that tale. But that's a good example, though, of how certain people are able to basically be racist monsters and just go under the radar, and then like even Brad Pitt has been basically cut off by all of the kids that he had with Angelina Jolie. He's apparently some kind of horrific abuser, but the mainstream media has no interest in exploring this at all. They keep it completely out of the mainstream dialogue. His kids all changed their name so that they wouldn't have to share an identity with him.
Okay, and we don't know what he did?
I mean, I think he was beating on Angelina Jolie, but also it was like, whatever it was something that was so bad that even the kids also felt this strongly about it. So it wasn't just...
She's nutty, though. She could have gotten in their ears and told them God knows what.
Yeah.
Your husband is a white man. There are certain privileges afforded, and then that just keeps like evolving.
I think it's like 4 kids. I think it would be pretty unlikely if all the kids were under the same delusion, but maybe.
Hey, I pledge allegiance to Tyler Durden, man. I don't know. And I also got to stick with my race on this one, you know?
No, I mean, okay. Can I tell you something insane about having a kid?
Yeah.
Is that you realize that they're potentially just as evil as all these other women out there. Because my kid, you know, I'll do like the slightest thing that she doesn't like. Like she takes a dump, you're wiping her butt.
Yeah.
And, you know, you tell her to wash her hands afterwards. It's like, every day, over and over and over, you're telling her to do things that she doesn't want to do. And she doesn't want to wash her hands this day for some reason. And she runs out and she just makes something up and tells mom, like, you know, dad's making me wash my hands and he called me dumb.
Yeah.
He called me a dummy for not washing my hands. And I'm just standing there like my girl's gotten used to it enough to realize that there is a bit of a gap between reality and what the kid is saying.
Yeah.
But it's kind of insane in that moment to be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What else is she going to lie about?
Like that could have been how it started with Amber Heard. Just calling her dad dumb. Well, and I mean, clearly she's got a shit fetish too. So it lines up. There we go. We got a bunch of dark-skinned middle finger emojis coming at me here in the live chat, dude.
Ah, see, that's a nice thing to spam in the chat. You know what's fucked up is that we're actually live right now against the news. So the No Jumper fans have to decide if they want to watch me and you live or the guys in the other room live. And I mean, yes, they could just watch either piece of content after the fact.
Yeah.
We never do two pieces of content live against each other, though.
Yeah. Now, I feel like this is the one to watch because there's a higher chance of a slip up here.
No, it definitely has occurred to me that you are someone who it's very kind of edgy to be on live with because I do recall when we were doing Sludgeloids that there were times where I had to edit out you saying something horrific here and there.
Well, I mean, of course, there was a very famous incident that, I mean, this was like the meteor that like killed off a bunch of dinosaurs around No Jumper when we interviewed a trans woman.
Yeah.
That was an impossible task for the editor he was great. I'm grateful he's still here, Mikey. I mean, maybe you even promoted him after that snafu.
We actually promoted him because we realized how well hung he was.
That's a good criteria for promotion also.
Yep. A lot of rumors about Mexicans having small dicks. He's bucking that trend, and we all appreciate it.
You've seen his cock? This is way more interesting than our episode that I was about to talk about.
No, but we should talk about that. But, you know, actually, I've been around the world with this guy, kind of. I've been to a lot of different cities with him. Never seen his cock.
Still never.
I just keep asking and asking. I tried to pants him a couple times.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Yeah, that's always so fascinating when somebody does. I asked him, I'm just full disclosure, Adam. It's been a while since I've been here. I asked him, like, if you ever, like, when you get on his ass for misspelling a subtitle in a clip, if he ever takes the Len of the Plug fleshlight off to the bathroom to get, like, you know, some little mini revenge against you.
And then I go to use it myself and just find a fucking pool of Mikey well-hung Mexican jizz in there.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like you can know how big his cock is based on how dilated that fleshlight mold is.
Yeah. Just a pool just soaking through the cardboard.
Yeah, I mean, that'll prove he comes a lot. That doesn't necessarily mean he's got a big dick. I come a lot. I shoot big loads, but as we know...
You want any kind of supplements for that?
No, I did take creatine this morning to try to be sharp between the ears.
I'm on a peptide as well.
Fuck yeah, baby. Lose that weight.
I think I'm going to get on TRT. People think I'm already on it because I mentioned this before.
Are you looks maxing?
I'm not willing to take it as far as some of these guys that you hang out with have.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that the TRT seems like a pretty good idea.
TRT is a big step toward looks maxing. You look good. You look the exact same as when I left you.
I probably gained 20 pounds since the last time we did a podcast.
You don't look fat, though. You don't wear
like
it wrong.
Big, strong man, and that's actually what gave me the confidence to challenge 4 Extra to a fight, a fade in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
And really a lot of other people, too. I've been just making it clear, hey, I'm looking for a fade. I'm looking for a well-hung black man to get in the boxing ring with me and just squabble up.
Damn,
and
dude.
Nobody's taking it. Nobody's down. It is kind of tricky because they have to be like pretty famous.
Yeah.
And then they also have to be like 240 pounds, which is where I'm at. So it's like most of the people out there just are not really up for this challenge. But
have you been training?
I'm considering starting.
Sure.
I'm thinking about giving it a... No, I've been lifting weights and doing cardio.
Sure.
But as far as like actually figuring out what I'm going to do with my hands when I get in the ring, that is its own.
Here's the thing is like you have such a villain persona on the internet. I just don't think anybody wants to get knocked out. And even if they like, maybe even if it's a slim chance they get knocked out by you, like they got knocked out by Adam 22, and like I don't know how that'll play in the hood because like you know how black guys are when it comes to like going back to the hood after getting clapped in public. You know, it's not.
I would almost say that if you get knocked out by me in a boxing ring, you might as well just take that as your unofficial put off from your neighborhood.
Yeah,
like
you can't go back.
Whatever gang you were from before, you're now from you're not from that gang anymore. Adams 22 just put you off. I know. I mean, that honestly is kind of like a big part of the problem, and that might be why. You know who 4Extra is?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna
4Extra.
I'm gonna give you a loose version of this. Let me pull up a video just so you can see what he looks like.
One thing you could set your watch to that Danny Mullen isn't going to know about the latest hip hop drama.
No, yeah, but this guy is kind of like in his own.
He looks good. Like he look like a.
Yes.
Oh, he's giant.
Big, strong man. That was some years ago. This is us together. Okay, yeah, we'll use this as an example here. But this is me and 4Extra. Now, 4Extra is from a neighborhood out here. He's done like 10 years in prison, etc. And when he got out of prison, we decided, hey, let's start doing podcasts together. We do podcasts together. I'm paying him on a monthly basis. We become pretty close friends. And then on the 4th of July, he's hanging out in his neighborhood. He bought thousands of dollars worth of fireworks.
Okay.
One of the fireworks blows off his entire hand. Now he's got a pinky and a thumb. This is a guy who his initial reason why he was famous on No Jumper and in general was because he was talking about fighting. He even said that one time in prison that he beat up 20 guys back to back, off the back, as he says. He knocked out 20 dudes in a row. Mm-hmm. This has been contested by some people out there.
I mean, I don't think it's physically possible.
It does seem unlikely, especially that like you, after just beating up 19 people, would now be able to beat up a 20th person who is fresh, who hasn't fought yet. That seems, unless they're like massively outmatched by you.
Yeah. And what does it say about that 20th guy's psyche that he sees 19 brothers take a fall and he's like, I got this. I'm gonna be the one.
Yeah, I'm the one. Yeah, no.
Also, where was the staff? Like, it's obviously got to be a big open area to knock out. I don't want 4Extra to come after me now for questioning his story, but
no, but that is a good point. That a lot of jails seems like they have to do a significant amount of work to get a fight in.
Yeah,
you got to like go to the one corner of the cell where you can actually get away with it. Anyway, this guy blows his goddamn hand off. So immediately I start updating the world about it. I'm going crazy on social media, telling people this is what happened, etc. And now it obviously puts me in a strange position because I'm a bit of a troll, love a good joke.
Yeah.
And now someone who's very close to me has had something happen to them that is very, very traumatic, very messed up, but undeniably the kind of thing that if it was anybody else, we would all be making jokes about, right?
Yeah.
He lost a hand.
He lost a hand, and you know, 4Extra robotics, they're making a ton of progress. I'm optimistic he can get those missing 3 fingers back, but right now you can still use that hand as a club, baby.
And that's what I've been saying, but think about it, like the jokes write themselves. Oh, I bet you wish you had 4 extra fingers now. Yeah. But anyway, so he's in the hospital. We thought he was blind for a while. So it was crazy, like so much information coming in. And right from the beginning, I'm trying to like pull up to the hospital. Like I want to see him. And it's weird. I'm like realizing that his team is kind of like getting between him and like outsiders. Yeah. So right away, it's kind of like, nah, you're not invited. And then I realized that they're like, oh, nah, he wanted to pull up with a cameraman. And I'm like, I didn't say anything about a cameraman. I just want to pull up.
Yeah.
But either way, then I go on the podcast and talk about this. One of the people I'm on the podcast with is this guy, Munchie B. He's a blind blood from Inglewood, California. And is
he kind of large?
No, very skinny.
Okay, well, the Munchie name threw me off.
I know. He's munching other things, I guess. Or he's munching healthy snacks. Yeah.
Watching the canola oil. Good stuff, Munchie B.
And so then Munchie B and this other guy, King Pill, were making some jokes. And like the worst thing you could say is that like one of their jokes, I was kind of like, I didn't laugh at it, but I kind of, you saw like a hint of a smile for a split second. Anyway, 4Extra hears about this, I think through his interpreters.
He heard about you smirking at a joke as opposed to laughing.
Yes, and immediately wrote me out, decided that he wasn't fucking with me, etc. Now,
can 4Extra come to all my comedy shows? I need just a hood guy to monitor the crowd for anybody who's not giving up the laughs.
Oh, honestly, he probably is looking for work now, so that might be good.
I want to talk about this too. Like once you're, because I want to talk about the disconnect between like income and wealth that I'm noticing a lot lately.
Let's write that down. I'm gonna put up I'm gonna make I guess I'll do a text document right here. So we'll have a table list.
Yeah.
Just so I can finish telling you about this because it is one of the wild.
Well, tell me about it. As long as
I want to put
because I'm just noticing a lot of YouTubers who are making like 50, 100K plus a month.
Oh, you're gonna
just going broke.
Oh yeah. Anyway, okay, so For Extra like did this whole interview basically, and at one point he was demanding $50,000 for his first interview after blowing his hand off, and nobody wanted to pay him. So.
How many views did it get?
It just came out. They kind of like did it in clips. Like I think like maybe there's like 10 clips and maybe they got like 100K, maybe like 200K on a couple of them. But at one point he was trying to get somebody involved with this to get him $1 million from Netflix for this.
Yeah.
So
we all wish that kind of money were there for those views.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I don't know what's going on.
It looks like we're on MySpace in 2002.
I feel like I'm playing Minecraft.
It's HTML.
Wow.
Remember the HTML on MySpace? Dude, you were on MySpace trying to get pussy.
Yeah. But I don't remember doing any actual HTML. Maybe I'll just.
I got in there a little bit of HTML, a little bit of /
Jesus. All right. I think I'm gonna have to actually just like create like an email doc because apparently the text.
Okay.
Oh, and now I have to log in as somebody who doesn't even work here anymore.
Yeah. Your account has been disabled. Okay. You're locked out at.
So really, yeah, it would be nice if our team could help me get a document going here. But anyway, so the guy for Extra, he does like an interview basically where he basically just lies to everybody, and he's trying to like craft this narrative where he's this victim. And I was like making fun of him really bad and laughing at him, etc., which makes no sense. I donated to his GoFundMe. Why would I be laughing at you? Obviously, I was like looking at it as a situation where like, oh fuck, like we're gonna. I was really thinking like, yo, your legend status is now at an all-time high. Like you got famous for being this crazy Crip fighter.
Yeah.
You lost a hand. Like this is a really, really good story. Like you could become huge off of this.
Yeah.
But he cuts me off, does this interview. He lies to the world and says that I was making fun of him super bad or whatever. So I decided, why not challenge him to a fade?
Yeah.
He's got one hand. I've got two hands. But to be fair, beforehand, I think he would have easily whooped my ass. Now he did this interview where he claimed that he wanted to actually break my face. He actually said that God left him on the face of the earth to break my face. That's why God allowed him to survive, was to beat my ass.
The firework would have killed him if God didn't want Adam 22 to go down.
And that's one weird theme of this, is that it's like he's really mad at the firework that he blew his own hand up with, but I think he can't really like handle that pressure of like.
He should be mad at the Chinese for inventing gunpowder. Okay, he's got the wrong culprit here.
I mean, you want to get really deep? The kid who sold him the firework that blew his hand off talked about it on a podcast.
There we go.
He doesn't have any smoke for the kid who sold him the fucking firework.
It's like a kid who sold you a fentanyl-laced blue. It ain't cool.
I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, so I challenged him to a fight because he said God left him on earth to beat my ass. I challenged him to a fight. No response. I'm on day 2 of For Extra ducking my fade. And I want to do it in a boxing ring, and I want to get him paid because I don't think he's going to make any money for the rest of his life otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, For Extra, I mean, those 3 fingers really, I mean, they make a difference in a lot of your life, but boxing is not one of those aspects. I mean, when you get your hands wrapped, the idea is basically to protect your fingers because they're fragile and don't actually help you in the act of throwing a punch. So now that those things are gone, that's just, I mean, his hand is going to be more durable if it makes contact with your forehead.
But I think his hand has all kinds of like metal pins and shit in it right now, so it's probably going to be like, I don't know, a year. It might even be 6 months ago. This was a while ago.
That might be like putting a horseshoe in your boxing glove in the 1930s. That's an advantage.
Oh, I agree with you.
He's got metal in that
shit. For sure, if I fight him, I want him to not be able to hit me with his nub.
It would be demeaning.
I mean, I just think that's unfair. Like boxing is a sport where you hit each other with your hands with gloves on them.
Yeah.
Don't hit me with your nub.
Yeah. I'm worried about you. I don't think you need to take any kind of head trauma, be it in the gym or in the ring. But I mean, I support this, I guess, but I just want you to be elusive out there.
Well, that's part of the problem, I think, with me wanting to fight in general, wanting to like get a boxing match, is that it's like, I don't know how many more times I can get hit in the head. Like, I already feel like I'm kind of fried from smoking so much weed throughout my life.
Yeah. Have you been knocked out before?
Yeah, like a bunch of times. Like
BMX or fights?
BMX. Oh, a couple fights, actually, yeah.
KO'd?
Not like laying on the ground unconscious, but definitely like wobbly. Like,
Yeah.
homie had to like put his arm around you and kind of like walk you to the car, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've had that too. I've never been completely flatlined.
Once at a Hatebreed show, guy stage dived, hit me in the head with his boot or something.
Yeah.
I had to go sit down for the rest of the show. And then the other time was outside of a club, outside of a bar. I saw my op. This is 15 years ago. I like zoomed through the bar, start swinging on him. As soon as I start beating his ass, his homie just boom. My boys had to walk me to the car. Yeah.
Really? Did you hit the ground?
That was my first time in California.
Did you hit the ground?
I'd be lying if I said that I remembered.
Yeah, okay. So it was a big blow. It was a big blow.
Yeah, it was tough.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, hell, it depends on the price point. I mean, if 4Extra is demanding $1 million for his clips on your YouTube channel, I mean, maybe he's got an audience we don't know about. Maybe this thing can generate some cash.
It's offensive because I feel like I'm the one who created that audience that might now be paying for this kind of thing.
Yeah, he owes you a fight.
I would be happy to help him get into a variety of different industries too, though, because I would like to get him into porn.
Sure.
I'd like to get him in
Is that
truck driving.
Are you just like assuming he's got the goods based on his race, or does he actually have a big penis?
You know, I don't know. But I do know that he's got a child on the way.
Okay.
Or no, he has a child like that exists.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
4Extra.
So, I mean, that says something. If he had a micro,
true,
might not have been able to create a baby.
Yeah, no, that's very true. So we know he's above 2 inches. Yeah, I think it's time to take a gamble, get him in the industry.
Could have used a turkey baster.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we can't rule out scientific conception.
For sure. So, okay, you're still reeling from the exposure of House Phone, the Gracie Jane episode. Is that still kind of weighing on you?
You know, it's not really weighing on me. I guess coming back in here made it weigh on me a little more. I feel bad, like for House Phone, because I didn't know it was that big of a deal. Like, you guys know how ignorant I am to all sorts of like no jumper drama, all sorts of hip hop drama. Right. I didn't know it was a big deal. Yeah. So I shouldn't have been flapping my gums. I mean, I was just, you know, like the guy who stops by here once a week. I was trying to make some funny comments. We thought it was all getting cut out of the podcast. And then Mikey, who may or may not have a big dick, the Mexican editor, he didn't cut out one line, which to his credit, there were like 58 references. It was impossible. Like,
okay, for the record, he cut out every example of his name being used except for one.
Yeah.
And that's the one they caught. But, you know, you're right, though, that like, I guess in retrospect, it seems obvious that was a big deal, but I didn't necessarily know it was going to be that big a deal.
Yeah. It's just like, that's the kind of shit.
Fuck a trans woman at once in their life, right?
Not the guy sitting across the table from you right now. No. I haven't gotten to that level. I'm trying to think if it's gotten close. Like for a while, we had a trans girl on our podcast. And then for a couple of months after, I kept getting like follows and DMs from trans girls.
Really?
And yeah, it was, you know, I felt like a diplomat who people were trying to poison his meal or something. You know, I had to go through things real carefully before indulging.
Once they think you're down, then they start swarming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I did a scene with one trans person, they'd all be coming.
It's
knocking.
over, dude.
Dude, yeah, you know what's crazy is like I went to a party a couple months ago and there's this girl that I know, and I always just, every time I see her, I think like, God, she got too much plastic surgery. Like this girl just really should have not got that much work done. She looks super pretty. Took it too far.
Yeah, it's like a weird continuum though, because there can be just the right amount of plastic surgery, lips, tits, you know, maybe a little filler. Then there's the medium level of plastic surgery where it's very obvious and you're like, okay, you're kind of making yourself undateable. But then they can go the whole hog and just be a plastic bimbo and you're rock hard again. And you're like, let's fucking go to Vegas, baby.
It is a weird line though, because it's like porn star girls, or like, you know, just a lot of girls who hang out at clubs and shit these days, they'll have the outrageous butt, the huge boobs, but it's like there's a line that you cross over with your plastic surgery that just makes it disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, but you're still gonna be able to find some Persian guy that wants to pay you to hang out in the club.
You remember the porn star Sybil Stallone?
No.
Dude, she was like the ultimate, like massive double watermelon BBL, like cantaloupe-sized tits, face just unrecognizable. And I saw her in Vegas once being tailed by two hairy Persian guys with big gaudy gold chains.
Yeah, they don't care.
But I mean, I would have totally banged her too. Like I absolutely would have banged her. But you are closing off the long-term relationship market to anybody who isn't Persian.
I know, but you know what I will say though is that like, if you are a woman with a gigantic fake ass, and I say this with as much love as possible for the black community, but there are a lot of high value black men.
Yeah.
That will marry you even if you look like Mariah Mills. Even if you have like a literal like refrigerator taped to your ass. They don't care. Like they're down. Like you're going to the club.
I need to give like a symposium, if that's the word for it. I want to give like a speech at the beginning of each NFL season, like letting players know what women they should and shouldn't go for, because they always go with like the light skin, plastic surgery. Like clearly this bitch has an agenda. This bitch knew your contract from right when you got drafted out of LSU. Yeah. She's been hunting you down. She's been stalking your Instagram, trying to meet you in the club. She wants your money. That happens a lot to these guys, and I just want to be like, go get a college bitch. Yeah. Find the chick who goes to UC Santa Barbara and her dad's a dentist. You got enough money that he'll overlook like the ice cream cone tattoo on your face. Fucking bang that chick.
Dude, I landed on a random Twitter account that just posted like hot sorority chicks the other day.
It's a problem.
I never even knew that this existed, but
yeah, that's what the NFL guys should be trying to.
Oh my God, they got some talent in these sororities, bro.
Bro, it's out of control. And if you're in a fraternity, you can be the world's biggest doofus. But that, like, college is such like a parlor game where like you are nobility if you're in a certain frat, and all of your shortcomings are overlooked because the girls get that frat brand, which is like means something for 4 years. And like that's associated with you, so they want to blow you.
I'll hear like some hip hop podcasters will like talk about being a Kappa, and it's like a huge thing. I have no idea.
Well, that might mean like being like a Kappa.
No, with
shooting,
a K.
Shooting
Kappa.
You know, maybe it's some wordplay shit.
I don't know. But I don't know anything about this, but they're like really like repping their frat like it's some gangster shit.
These are hip hop guys?
Oh, I know.
This might be at like an HBCU.
I don't know anything. I don't know what kind of college you go to that you get to become from this frat or whatever. Anyway, you know,
but this is amazing that you're just now finding out that sorority girls are like the hottest genre of chick.
I went to college. I went to community college for a year.
It's a little different, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the college I went to for a year after that didn't like have sororities, I don't think.
Yeah.
And so, but like this account is insane to me because it's like these are girls who have no intention of plastering themselves all over the internet for people to see. They probably got their little private Twitter, private Instagram account. I don't know. Maybe some of them are whores and they want clout. But like, it's just like these are not girls who want to be spread to the world on these accounts. I don't think. Maybe I'm naive.
I disagree, dude. See, I see Danny looks like an Ice Roads trucker, says the THF Miller.
Dude, Ice Road trucker. They keep fucking saying that about people on here.
Yeah, I think it's an insult, but hey, you know, whatever. But to get back to it, Adam, I think that's fucking those chicks up because there's already like would you ever hire like, or how has it been in the past when you've hired like smoking hot chicks to work here? Does that work out well?
I don't think we've ever really done that.
Okay, well, I would say you've argued some pretty cute girls, but those college girls already, the idea of getting them out into the workforce to work 60 hours a week and invest their money and like buy a house, that is already pretty thin. I mean, the chicks who are like killing it in corporate America are mostly like lesbians who are like diversity consultants at Disney. But to get like, once those girls start going viral for being like the hottest girl in Kappa Kappa Gamma, whatever was left of their work ethic is fucking gone when like rappers and fucking businessmen and Persians start getting in their DMs and like offering to fly them out places. And then they graduate college and all that's open to them is like a fucking pencil humping job for $40K a year at like a low level company. They're like, nah, I'm hotter than this. And then they just become like OnlyFans girls or fucking like trophy wives, best case, or maybe just like prostitutes.
See, well, that's my whole problem is that like I only know about the girls who are either doing porn, basically pantomiming as if they were Instagram or as if they were porn stars on Instagram. And I know some of the like models and video girls and stuff like that, but like regular girls who just happen to be hot as fuck because they actually are studying the girls that they're looking at on Instagram. And like, these are girls who don't want to be sex workers. They don't want to do porn, etc. But like regular girls, so foreign to me that these girls actually exist. Cause I just don't, I don't interact with any girls that don't like want to be sex workers.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I think it's a bigger and bigger slice of the population. Or best case, like the least dirty position on that chain of like vaguely sex work is to be like a fitness girl.
Yeah.
Where you're selling workout plans and you're selling like sets to go to the gym with.
Yeah.
But those girls, I imagine if the right guy slides into their direct message and quotes the right dollar figure, they're going to be prostitutes too.
I mean, you wonder, but yeah, like the other day, there's a fitness girl that I follow, and I seen her post on her story, like, you know, when I meet, and this girl doesn't do anything sexual on OnlyFans, as far as I know, just workout selfies and videos of her doing squats and shit like that. And she's like,
which you jerk off to in the hut at your house.
Like, I don't, but like when I see it, I want to.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be off.
Those girls are hot, dude.
Dudes, the videos of the girls doing squats.
Yeah.
I could just go. But anyway, so this girl posts on her story, like, you know, it never fails that when I meet a guy and as soon as I start to think that they're taking me seriously, they look at my Instagram and they figure out that I'm a fitness influencer and they start judging me and treating me a certain way and looking at me like I'm only good for one thing. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm hanging out with real whores.
Yeah.
And they want respect.
Yeah.
You're saying you can't get respect just off being a fitness? Like, what? Like, this makes no sense to me. Like, it's that much of a thing in your world. You feel like you're being judged. I don't think girls are getting judged that harshly for being a fitness girl.
If you're a guy who cares about the quality of your marriage, it's probably good to avoid those fitness girls, though, because here's the thing. It's like if you are like a subpar husband for a month, like she's going to be maybe looking at those DMs she's receiving from the most elite guys in the world.
Yeah.
Like that was like that Bobby Altoff chick. Like that's what happened to her, basically, right? Like her husband was worth $4 million. He just sold a software course on Udemy. Yeah. And then she got in a position where all like the most desirable men in the world wanted a piece. And she's like, I've got kids and a husband. Fuck them. I'm sucking Drake's dick.
Whoa.
And that could conceivably happen if you're dating a fitness girl.
I don't think she fucked Drake.
I'm not guaranteeing she did, but it's somebody put their fucking cock in her mouth.
Yeah.
Somebody, I'm going to put my hand right now. I don't have a Bible. I'll put it on this desk. Somebody put their fucking cock in her mouth. I think it was the cornerback from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sean Murphy Bunting was hitting that, dude.
Wait, that was her original boyfriend that she had kids with?
No, that was a white guy.
She's with some guy now, but I don't know.
I think it's Sean Murphy Bunting, or it was for a little bit.
But like I saw, because when Drake did his most recent interview with her, which I watched a couple months ago, or actually a couple days ago, like he's saying like, oh, you have a boyfriend now, huh?
Yeah.
He's kind of like making fun of her for having a boyfriend. Like, kind of with this like undertone of like, hey, your boyfriend ain't shit compared to me. I'm a massive pop star.
Yeah. I got a 12-inch fucking cock.
You think? He does have a big dick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guy she was dating, Sean Murphy Bunting, was like, I mean, he's got like a $60 million contract. But that's the thing. Within LA, like the comparison, and that's the thing of the new digital economy, is you're always not as good as somebody that could easily have access to your significant other.
Yeah.
And that's like, I have to remind myself to quit comparing myself and be happy so often in LA, because just anywhere you look, there's somebody in your industry killing it way harder than you.
Yeah.
And it makes you want to go back to the 50s where like you opened your little business in Cleveland, Ohio, and that was your fucking life, and you weren't constantly faced with like 22-year-old getting 3 million views a video fucking this hot ass TikTok girl.
I mean, that's the number one thing you need to be comfortable in a relationship, is you need to be confident that your spouse is not going to cheat on you or leave you for a more high value member of your subculture. Like if you're going to get in a relationship with a woman, you need to know that she would be impervious to Bert Kreischer trying to eat her out in a public restroom.
That's I think most women would pass the Bert Kreischer test, even given his fun money and fame. Yeah.
Okay.
Thankfully, but let's talk about how you know that, because I talked to my buddy Leo about this, who I do videos with. We think, going through the phone one night when your chick's passed out drunk, making sure she's not responding to any of those DMs, not a terrible call. We think that for sure.
I mean, I've never done that to my wife, never thought about it. Always felt like we had such an honest relationship that I didn't have to. But for sure, and I like my thinking mind is anti looking through their phone.
Yeah.
But in reality, throughout my life, there's been a few times in that exact situation of like, oh, she just fell asleep drunk next to me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that phone.
Yeah.
And you'll find, I mean, like what is wrong with wanting to know some shit that they're hiding from you.
Yeah, I mean, especially before you make a lifelong commitment, it's not bad. Like, and if you go through it, because like I've done this with like a girlfriend before, I have, and it was completely clean. She hadn't been talking to anybody or chatting with anybody, and that was like for the rest of the relationship, like fully trusted.
Really?
Like fully trusted. Yeah.
But did you tell her that you looked through? Yeah, you can't tell her.
You can't tell them. But that's some good due diligence to do. Maybe hire a private detective. Maybe see who she's following on Instagram.
That's what I was wondering is that over the line?
I don't think so.
Hire a PI.
I mean, dude, pretend you're a Vanderbilt. You're the heir of John D. Rockefeller. Like those families that live in Bridgewater, Connecticut, those fuckers, you know, they got private eyes tailing every bitch one of their sons, one of the heirs is dating. And I think, you know, like, hey, the high status guys like Adam 22 and Danny Mullen might want to take a page out of their book.
I mean, it seems kind of pathetic to like hire a private investigator to get dirt on a girl. But I mean, if you spend a couple grand on a private investigator and they turn up information that helps you to save hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever,
millions,
or even just time,
divorce,
even just years of your life with this person,
even more valuable.
If they're able to expose, hey, she's got kids with a secret husband and she's pulling the wool over your eyes or whatever. I mean, shit.
She, you know, has an ex-boyfriend in Vegas, and I've been seeing her drive, you know, eastbound on the 10, like several times in the last month out into the desert.
Yeah,
like that. I think that's a good move, dude.
Like I'm always beefing with people on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And I've never even thought about hiring a PI, but I have a friend who's beefing with somebody on the internet and he got a private investigator, and it seems like he's on the cusp of like some really like killer information
on the guy he's beefing with.
Yes, which kind of made me feel like,
I feel like that's a low blow, dude.
I feel like that's a low blow. But it's like, hey, like if somebody just emailed me that, I would be like, shit, fuck, that's amazing. Like, I'm gonna use this in my saga against this person.
Oh, dude, that's giving me like PTSD. I mean,
because once you open that can of worms, who's to say that you shouldn't do this to 10 people that you don't like?
I feel like internet beef should be based on like publicly available information, and there should be limits.
Friends with a private investigator. What if he just does it for you?
Well, that's a happy coincidence, then, Adam. That's a happy coincidence. You could get your bitch looked into and your ops.
No, doing it to a girl. I mean, part of me just feels like, you know, if you want to lie to me, fine. But then I think about how mad I would be if I found out that she lied to me afterwards, and I'm like, why would you feel so confident?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think most of the chat will agree with us, and I think that's the move. I don't know. My plan is, I thought about taking like the George Clooney route and just, you know, settling down in your 50s. Not that I'll be able to pull as high caliber of a beach in my 50s as George Clooney, 50s, but yeah, I might just, dude, I don't know what it is, but I'm like somewhat reclusive and pretty polygamous or promiscuous, and I don't think it would be right for me to hop into a relationship.
Do you feel like you are this person now because you've kind of become traumatized by the level of fame that you've managed to get, or does it feel like this is just who you were beforehand and you've always just been the same person?
This was always who I was. I remember I was talking to this chick named Jennifer, junior year of high school, and Jennifer and I, you know, we went to the homecoming dance together, and there'd been a lot of talk around campus, like, hey, I think this is the new item, Danny and Jennifer, Danifer. You know, it's going to be a thing.
Got to do that. Yeah.
And then I got so drunk on Mickey's 40s at the homecoming dance, and I made out with this girl named Amber, and Jennifer saw it. And then the whole school was in uproar, and obviously everything with Jennifer was shot. But like the feeling of relief I felt the next day, having hit the jettison button on my fucking cockpit seat and getting out of the relationship, I felt so relieved and free.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like there's something about that. Even like, okay, similar feeling is like, I've got a big interview lined up and I'm excited. I'm kind of on edge, spent a bunch of time getting ready for it. And then I find out that it's not happening.
Yeah.
And you get that feeling of like, oh, fuck yeah, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like it's so much easier for me to not do that.
Yeah.
Even though I then also don't get the benefits from that thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you don't want to be that kind of person. Like I'm terrified of being that kind of person who like wants to just say fuck off to everything or crumbles under the pressure of having like a big opportunity, you know?
Dude, I'm reading, fucking Josh is listening somewhere right now. He's going to fucking jerk off to this. But I'm reading the Patriots book, The Dynasty, about Tom Brady, Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick.
Okay.
And like the amount that Tom Brady is that guy who rises to those occasions, just savors those impossible. And some of the situations that he played through in like the second half of his career when everybody was talking shit because they said he deflated footballs. Everybody was talking shit because they knew there was a rift between him and Bill Belichick. Jimmy Garoppolo was coming up to take Brady's spot. Brady gets his hand busted open in practice and has to play a playoff game with a surgical wound. Not with a firework. 4 extra, no disrespect, but Tom Brady, it was running back Rex Burkhead, not an M80. But like, Tom Brady going out in all those situations and just playing a perfect football game with 100 million people watching. For 20 years, he was doing that shit with like no lapse in concentration, no lapse in focus, never went out and got blacked out and grabbed some titties at a club. Fucking crazy, dude. The guy's superhuman.
Yeah, how do you achieve that level of success and not somehow fuck it up? Because I feel like
crazy
repeatedly throughout my life I've achieved pretty mundane levels of success and still sort of managed to like fuck it up, get an ego, start acting kind of crazy.
100%, me too. And like, I mean, I got relatively somewhat known on the internet when I was like 29. Imagine these guys coming into the NFL at fucking 22, 23.
Exactly.
Already like pros, already ready to carry a franchise on their shoulder.
You have no ability to comprehend that the future is going to be different than this. I see this all the time,
That's what I want to talk about a little bit, because I'm seeing like a big uptick in influencers who just have no money and are just completely broke despite having made, you know, like up to $100,000 a month in their life. Yeah. And it's just, some people don't seem to realize that like your income and your net worth are super disconnected ideas.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to me that nobody like understands how to save money. There's just this culture of fucking blowing out all your cash.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody who becomes a YouTuber just kind of assumes strange assumption, but they just assume that this is going to last forever.
Yeah,
and that this fan base that I have here is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
and it seems like such an insane assumption because there's really like people coming into the game every single day who are providing something new. Now, granted, like when it comes to hip hop podcasting, it's kind of like I feel like I understand who all of the threats are. But hip hop podcasting is so specific of a niche. Like reality is that somebody like me or academics is losing viewers to I Show Speed, Kai Cenat, etc. You know, like that's the newer generation of fans that we are probably not getting at the same clip that we might have previously because all these young dudes and these younger dudes focus on fun.
Yeah.
With us, it was like based around an interest, this thing, hip hop, or maybe a little bit of other stuff too. But like with them, with I Show Speed, it's like, hey, I'm in fucking Greenland. Hey, I'm with these super hot models. Hey, I'm like, it's more just fun. It's not like, oh, we're just going to sort of blanket you with like hip hop information over and over and over.
Yeah.
And you see the value of that, especially because hip hop is kind of at a down point, right?
Yeah.
Sales are bad.
Dude, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, for me, there was a lot of pressure to go, like, you know, get hit in the face by a lesbian at a protest in front of the Capitol. And I think I'm going to stop doing it because I've reached a point where I'm very grateful from the moment I started making money. And this was, I think, a product of me being a busboy and having to like slog through the kitchens of San Francisco and Las Vegas while I was trying to start a YouTube channel. That mindset maybe just every time I got paid from YouTube, I would try to put as much money away as possible, learn how to invest it in safe things like a total stock market index fund, but then also get a couple of, you know, moonshot investments going too to get some serious alpha going.
And so that's worked out pretty well for you?
Yeah, like that was always my mindset. And now I'm at a point where YouTube's been fucking going after me recently. I've been getting like a video demonetized or age restricted every day. I've been like talking to their team about it. I don't know what's going on, but I'm at a point now where after like, you know, 8 years of grinding, I'm like, all right, you know, I've got a pretty healthy mattress to like reevaluate some things. And I think next year I'm going to step away from like the competing for the same views that everybody else is competing for, the sensational title and thumbnail, the chasing the newest trend in politics or culture. I think I'm going to step away from that because like financially, I'm finally in a position where I guess I can a little bit, you know.
But that's scary too, because like you're a fan base, you don't necessarily want them to unsubscribe from the Patreon or to lose touch with you, right?
Yeah. No, that's the thing about Patreon is I'm pretty sure I can keep those people happy because they're such hardcore fans.
Okay.
I'll be able to find a way. But no, and I'm trying to get to the point where I can push through that initial anxiety. There's going to be a huge temptation to abort if I'm changing directions and it starts out rocky. Huge temptation to go back doing the same things I was doing. But dude, weekly videos, and trying to maintain a high quality weekly video out in public vlogging is like an exercise in insanity.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like thankfully all of our videos, in shooting the videos, we have insane life experiences and I've had a great last 6 years, but you miss out on a lot too. It's hard to be healthy mentally and physically and like have any sort of family life when you're on that grind.
So you don't feel like you could compartmentalize it? Because when I think about myself doing the kind of content that you do, I'm picturing like, okay, maybe I can film all day Monday, and then like maybe there's another day in the week that we really like hammer through the edit, or I have like a team that edits it, and then maybe I'm like doing some oversight or whatever. But it kind of feels like there's a version of it that might not be so overwhelmingly intensive. Yeah,
possibly. But I don't know. I get into like perfectionism, and I have a hard time just like, I'm going to totally tune out this week. My editing team's going to handle 100% of the video. I'm stepping away. So yeah, no, I'm gonna make some tweaks. I'm probably gonna take like a month off in January.
But does this ever make you feel lazy? Because like, okay, I've always kind of felt like, oh, I have a crazy ability to like do content for like long periods of time because I'll do 3-4 interviews in a day or whatever. But then sometimes I look at all the streamer dudes and I'm like, a lot of these streamers are sitting in front of their computer for 8-10 hours straight, no breaks. At least I'm getting to go sit in my office for 10 minutes and eat a Cliff Bar in between interviews or whatever. But like, sometimes I look at this new generation and I'm like, wow, they're so hyper productive. Like,
but then again, streaming is also like all you do is you stream. There's no edit. There's, somebody else does the clipping for them. So it's like in a way easier. In a way there's like less pressure.
And it's like none of it has to be that good. Like a streamer can kind of be like just lingering around, and then they get that one moment where something good happens, and then that's their clip. Which that to me is the hard part about like staying live. It's just like that, keeping people's attention. Now, having a conversation is easy because it's back and forth. Like you get to sit there and think for a minute. By the time I'm done thinking, you say something. That's great. But I was like, even Complex Con was in Vegas maybe like 2 months ago, and I know a lot of people who did IRL style streams while there. We're still so old school that we, a couple of our guys went out there. One of them held the camera. They made a vlog. It comes out like 3-4 days after the thing. Nobody fucking cares.
Dude,
all the content is so blown out on social media while it's happening, because those IRL clips are live. Boom. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. As it happens, 4 days later, putting out footage from this convention center is just like, nobody cares.
You're so right, dude. I learned that lesson with the Zoran Mamdani election in New York. We went out there, we did like a big video on it. Really, really good. A lot of smart bits, a lot of good commentary, polished to the T. Comes out like 10 days after the election. We would have been way better phoning in a live stream on the day of the election, or better yet, the guys who were making the most views were just guys talking heads speculating about what New York would be like a week before the election. That was the real tentpole moment. So I learned that lesson too.
It's definitely like, at this point in my life, it's kind of like, if I'm going to go somewhere and do something, like if I was going to go to some party, some dope party, a bunch of famous people or whatever, it's like, I don't really see any benefit of bringing a vlogger, a cameraman, etc. At this point, it's more just like, I'll get some shit on my phone for short form stuff. But like the concept of like a YouTube vlog from just going to an event that there's already tons of other people documenting, I just don't really see it. Now, if you make your own content, if you go and do a vlog like at some event that's not completely blown out, then I think it works. Or, if you have like the kind of reputation like Channel 5, where like their fans just know everything they put out is going to be great. They build that level of like trust that I think every YouTuber is kind of after, where like I'll click on their video even if it doesn't sound that interesting to me, because I just like really believe that their success rate is just outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. That's like always been my goal. And it's just like still just the pressure to keep those fucking numbers up.
Yeah.
Like even though my views are relatively consistent, or they have been until this last month. But yeah, that's the goal, is just to be trusted enough where a video you throw up like, hey, this is on a random subject. I was interested in it. It's not viral. It's not newsworthy. Fuck it. It would be amazing if that got as many views as when I got punched in the face by Antifa.
Yeah, but do you feel like, because I'm not gonna lie, like I am subscribed to your Reddit. I don't ever look at it, but once in a while it'll suggest a post to me.
Oh.
And I saw one of some disgruntled fan basically saying that like you had kind of changed as a result of the vlogs, or like you've just changed so much over the past 5-6 years. Do you feel like there's any truth to that? And do you feel like the vlogs and constantly having to find new interesting content, has that kind of changed who you are, at least on camera? Like, do you feel like they have a point?
I don't know what their argument was, like from what angle they were saying I changed.
I think the gist of it though was just that this sort of like rage baiting political vlog thing that I think you're kind of acknowledging, that like, in some way it's kind of maddening having to sort of chase outrage after week.
I mean, dude, we did a video recently with Alexis Fox that was like a video on historical pickup artists, which YouTube just immediately slapped an age restriction on, did like no views. There's just so much incentive. And because here's the thing too, when I started YouTube, I was paying a filmer $60 a day to come film with me. I'd pay an editor $150 a week and basically do it myself. So like the margins could be, they were so much larger. Whereas like there came a point where, I can't just follow my artistic fancy always and have to fire an editor because of it.
Yeah.
So that was like the mindset. And also I'm interested in doing cool stuff on current events. I like that too. It wasn't like purely a sellout act, but I would like to this year, step back from that. So maybe this person will be happy, but I feel like if anything's changed, it's just I've gotten older and I'm less interested in like hurting people's feelings when we're out filming. I try to only like make fun of and criticize choices people make and things they're saying or doing versus like, I mean, dude, we did a bit that never saw the light of day for a video we did on The Wizard of Oz in 2020. And there's a scene in the beginning of The Wizard of Oz where like Dorothy's fucking pig farmer uncle is feeding the pigs. Okay. And I was like, okay, yeah, we're doing a video on The Wizard of Oz. We got to have a pig feeding bit. And the bit was literally us throwing food products at fat people. In the street. Like, we didn't know these people. It wasn't Fez. It wasn't somebody who'd signed. Like, we were like oinking at and throwing things at fucking fat people. And like, I would never do that today. Like, go up to an innocent person and like make them feel like a piece of shit based on like a characteristic of them.
Right.
I mean, fat is that's not the same as making fun of somebody for their race, because, they can change the fat. So I'm not a total softie, but.
Right. No, I mean, okay, but with something like that, I feel like that's like the Jack Doherty method now, is like, oh, I'm gonna do, because it's so easy to figure out how to make people hate you. Like, I'm sure like without much thought, we right now could figure out things to say that would make everybody hate us, but meanwhile, like the thing that would make us get a lot of really positive reinforcement would be relatively difficult to come up with. And I mean, I think you got to fight that a lot, because I do a lot of rage baiting. It's easy.
Well, I mean, now like the era of the groypers, like you go after the Jews, you're gonna get huge views there. There's like a lot of like topics that like circle in and out of culture that you can just do that and you'll fucking kill it. And like talk about white power, and we do it. If you and I just went off on white power for 15 minutes and the importance of it, we might be the biggest podcast on the internet. If we just became the white power podcast.
Oh my God, man. If we just had like a really sincere 5-minute conversation about the superiority of the white race and never let on at all during it, that we were joking at all, and it's going to go insane. And then we're going to be like, hey, we were just joking. No one cares. No one cares that you were joking at all.
Yeah. No, that would go. And just like the only immigrants we should have are like the Tommy Robinson type guys from the England who are fleeing political persecution. That's all.
That is an immigrant. That is true.
That's all. Like, I mean, we would fucking blow up, dude. People they're hyped on sledge lords, dude.
No, yeah, I know, right? It's weird, because it's like when you cancel a podcast, you inevitably end up like looking back on it like, damn, that was cool. Like, why did I cancel that? At that time, though, it just felt like things were just so crazy that the idea of doing like a lighthearted, fun chill podcast.
Yeah.
Just really felt like the last thing that I needed to be focusing on in that moment.
Yeah, it was pretty beloved and like pretty successful.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were hovering between 50 and 100,000 views on YouTube, which is like a lot now. Like
exactly. And that's the whole thing that's weird about it is that like at that time, like so many different times in my life, like, there was a podcast, the one that House Phone was on and stuff, that used to get like 150K, and we ended up canceling it because all the other shows were doing like 250 or 300.
Yeah.
And we can't, that one got, or it didn't get canceled because of that. But I remember we were like talking about it, like, oh, damn, like the views aren't looking that good. They do that podcast on their own channel now, 20K.
Yeah.
And apparently that, and it really 20,000 people or whatever. I mean, that's pretty good. That's like, that's cool.
Some audio listens too.
I mean, yeah,
shit. Make money with advertising.
There's no reason to cancel a podcast because it's getting those views. But the fact that we were so spoiled that we thought 150 was mid is kind of insane.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Patreon, I mean, we probably could have had like a good Patreon following too. When are you going to get clapped by Jason? What do you think about fighting Jason Ellis? I mean, he was down at Skankfest fighting Uncle Laser.
Oh my God, fucking Jason Ellis. Have you communicated with him since?
I haven't. I got nothing against Jason Ellis. I like Jason Ellis. I don't know why he got mad at us. I think he just came in on an off mood.
Let's recap that because because this is like Gifted Hater's newest target. You ever watch Gifted Hater?
No, he doesn't like Jason Ellis though, huh?
Oh my God, he's like the greatest skateboard YouTuber of all time.
Okay.
He does these videos where he just sort of he'll pick something and he'll criticize it. I remember one of the first videos I ever saw was like some girl had started a skateboard clothing company and they were selling $1,000 pants.
Okay.
And he just tore these fucking pants apart. It was just like the funniest thing ever. And recently he's decided that Jason Ellis was his target. And I'm not going to lie, like somebody who previously was shitty to you and now like your favorite YouTuber just made a video about them was to me just like the best feeling. And I'm literally just sitting there for like 40 minutes watching it with a big smile on my face. Like, yeah, thank you. Like, because it just felt like I was the only one who had noticed what a douchebag Jason Ellis was. And then I'm all of a sudden watching this Gifted Hater video and I'm like, oh, okay, like he gets it for like a variety of reasons that I didn't really get.
So what was your beef with him? Because to me, he came in here and he was just kind of in a bad mood. And I think he thought we were fucking with him when really we weren't. It was just the way he took it that we were fucking with him made us kind of start fucking with him because he was in such a bad mood. But it was all lighthearted. And then he unfollowed you. And
yeah. I got the hard unfollow.
Okay, I think I probably received that as well.
I wonder, but probably.
But then what happened?
But okay, but the only thing that I recall is that, and I think I had interviewed him. And it didn't do any views, and I was kind of surprised because I remember him being like a big deal back in the day. But then I went to a comedy show with you, with Lena, and then he ended up being on the same bill, which was just a bizarre coincidence.
We got fucked, by the way. That thing had billed a ton of big comics, none of whom were actually on the lineup, and it was all like open micers or like doormen performing that night.
Right. And so I see Jason Ellis there. I watch a shitty comedy, whatever. And then we talk a little bit afterwards, and then we end up having him on the podcast. And to me, it was seeming like it was going to be a good, solid conversation. But to me also, I didn't realize like how fucking insecure this guy is. So when he starts talking about doing comedy, this is the thing I recall is, and I might be fucking up the details a little bit, but I don't think so, is that he was talking about how, I've been a fighter, I've been a fucking skateboarder, I've done all these things. I was a drug addict, and I just wanted to do something that scared me. And being a comedian is scary. It's really scary. And I remember saying like why comedy though? Like there's a lot of things that could scare you. You could be a base jumper. You could jump off buildings.
You could do that. You could be an arsonist.
Yeah. Serial killer.
What are we doing here?
What could be scarier than being a serial killer?
Nothing.
The cops are on your trail.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I asked him, I'm like, why that? And he had no answer, which is coincidental because he also has no talent as a comedian and he sucks. He's not funny.
This is getting personal. Okay.
I mean, I'm just being totally honest.
Has he taken personal digs at you?
No.
Okay.
I'm just when someone unfollows me, I then feel like I could just be honest.
I don't back the unfollow. I don't. Yeah. It's a weird. Like I follow like multiple thousands of people. It's just like, why unfollow anybody?
I don't know.
It's like it's a minor act of aggression to somebody.
All I was asking him was like, why did you get into comedy? His answer sucked, and he got offended like right away, like as if I was like questioning why do you even feel like you have the right to do comedy, which is not what I was saying. I just like was trying to like kind of psychoanalyze him and get into like why this was the thing that you chose to go for. Now the reality is that he just like he's LARPing as Joe Rogan. It's like, oh, I'm a fighter. I need to do I need to like be sponsored by Black Rifle Coffee. I need to like do comedy. You know, it's just like I watch enough Joe Rogan that I'm convinced that I need to do everything that Joe Rogan does. That's why I think he kind of chose there. And I don't know. It's like I just something about the fact that he wants to be a stand-up comedian where it's basically like a competition for who can have the most like rugged personality, who can thrive and survive in the most difficult conversations, and that he couldn't even handle me asking him why he became a comic. And that to me was just like so indicative of the fact that he's never going to experience any success in this world. And I've never talked about it till now, I'm pretty sure. But then, you know, now I have Gifted Hater who can make videos about this guy, and I can sit there at home and enjoy them.
Well, Gifted Hater, I'll do my research, but
oh my, you have no idea how many classics are out there.
Really, it's soon to be one on Danny Mullen. Maybe probably not you. You're probably safe.
No, he keeps it very skateboard specific. Actually, no, but he does like videos about Hassan now too. It's like another. That's the confusing thing. There's like 5 channels.
What do you think about that? The craze. Like if I had a 16-year-old son who was going to be a YouTuber, I'd say make a faceless channel, develop a lisp, and just talk shit about famous comedians and podcasters.
Honestly, a pretty decent plan. Yeah,
it's a pretty good plan. Shouldn't there be like? Because I see a lot of that going on, where somebody is breaking down a comedian who's like objectively a great comedian.
Yeah,
and this person doesn't understand comedy at all. Yeah, and they're like, this guy fucking sucks. Like, look at this. There's no punchline at this part here. His fans are turning against him. Like, there should be like the person you're talking shit about should get at least 50% of the ad revenue if your whole channel is built on talking shit about people.
I mean, that is the weird thing, is that if you were to use parts of a song in your video, then you would easily be able to claim a large percentage of that revenue. But somehow picking apart people's podcast clips doesn't result in that. But
yeah, you should probably Venmo Jason Ellis a bit just for that rant you went on.
Just for talking about him. Just doing an impersonation of him.
That was a pretty good impersonation, by the way. But dude, like one that I saw was like Brian Callen. Like his recent special got torched. And Brian Callen is like legitimately, you spilled on your shirt a little bit, buddy. I'm sorry to tell you. It's a nice white shirt. I like it. But
what the fuck?
Yeah, sorry about that, man. But Callen is like, Callen's a fucking, I mean, the word great, he's a really, really good comedian, Brian Callen.
Yeah.
Like, he's had some amazing specials. I've seen him live. He blew the fucking room out, completely dynamite. Like, I really like Brian Callen. And people were, like, his new special, people were using, like, full bits on the internet and, like, breaking these things down and talking shit about him. And I'm like, yeah, if you use 30 seconds of a Sum 41 song, you forfeit all your revenue.
Yeah.
But you did 3 videos this week on why Brian Callen's a piece of shit that got 1 million views. And you're probably making like 20 G's off those videos. They're all going to you.
The weird thing about it, and I don't know why the comic world hasn't really like figured this out yet, but it's like all you have to do is copyright your content, and like you can have like a service that copyrights every single piece of content that you do. And then once you've copyrighted, like that's why you can't make a video right now that's like the top 10 UFC knockouts of all time, and then every single one is like a full 60-second clip of this guy getting knocked out. The reason why that doesn't work is because the content's copyrighted.
Sure.
And so I know a YouTuber who copyrights every single thing he does, and then if anybody uses his content in a way that he doesn't like, boom, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. Smart. I guess then the downside is people can't clip your content. But maybe you could allow that. Maybe you'd have discretion just to allow that.
But then that works out for them too, because then they clip your content, it gets taken down, they message you and say, yo, like, can I get this back up? And if he fucks with you, he's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't fuck with you, no.
How much does that cost to copyright your content? Probably not even that much.
It's not that crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a process you have to go through every time you upload a video, or is it like a one-time, this channel is copyright protected?
This guy has somebody on his team who's able to just do it all for him. But so I don't know how much work it actually is, and I haven't checked with him in a while about how this is going, but he seemed very enthusiastic about it last time I talked to him.
It seems like a good plan.
Definitely. You know, I just want to wait. We were just we were talking about the videos criticizing. I just want to say that like I remember so well when we sat with Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
And we had just so blatantly just watched some videos taking down Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
And so me and you were just podcasting and we're just bringing it up. We're just talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was so obvious in that moment that Chris D'Elia is not in any way interested in having a conversation about videos that talk shit about comics because like obviously he's just dealt with that worse than like almost anybody. And I just remember him being just like so in shock that we were both talking about this video that it came out like the day before that we had both saw it. It was just like, I don't know, it was a crazy fucking moment to just see the look on his face of just like horror. Cause like I think he sensitive enough that he had to separate himself from that sort of content.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like it's happened to me throughout my career when people were talking tons of shit. It sensitizes you a little bit, and you're like, okay, maybe I don't want to be that guy talking mad shit because I don't like the feeling when it's directed at me.
Yeah,
and that for sure, I'm humbled Chris. I mean, I bet, and he's like a really fucking nice, like approachable guy now. Also, fucking amazing comic too. Chris is amazing. Scholes is amazing too. Like when people are talking shit about Scholes, dude, he's like one of the top guys.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that happens is that it's like dudes will rise to the top of their industry podcasting wise, and then they'll get involved in a controversy. Something will happen that will make 5% of their fans sort of revolt, and then the people who make videos about them will treat this as if it's 100% of their fans turning on them, when in reality that sort of ebb and flow is like completely natural. But I mean, at this point it feels like, does any famous stand-up comic put out a video or put out a special and not have like an equal or bigger reaction from the content creators who make videos about what a failure they are? Like, it feels like I almost don't even know the last time that happened, that like a stand-up special came out and everybody liked it, and that there wasn't a video that was like nearly as big trashing it. Like, I don't know if that even happens anymore.
Well, they got to be like, you're only ripe for getting trashed on the internet if you have like a podcast or you're like somehow internet native too. Like if you're like Sebastian Maniscalco or one of those, or Jim Gaffigan, who just lives almost entirely offline, nobody's gonna fuck with you. But like the Brian Callens, the Brendan Schaubs, everybody in the Rogan sphere, like I was gonna say, like the guys in New York probably avoided a little more because New York is like kind of the pure comedy. But even like Sam Morril, I saw Sam Morril getting like dunked on by Red Bar real bad. And like Sam Morril is fucking really good too.
Well, see, but that's the thing, is that any comic who is not currently being hated on by some other content creator is just a waiting opportunity for that person to be torched. You know, like, you know who
Shane Gillis is probably up. Like if Shane Gillis has like a mediocre special, it's dude, he's had such a, and he's great. He's, but you're right.
That is one dude that I don't know if I've seen, like, in comparison, like Bert was kind of like the Shane Gillis before Shane Gillis.
Yes.
And like, as a person who never watches Bert's stand-up, I am convinced that I hate him from watching like these YouTube videos about, like, they do such a good job breaking down what an asshole he is that I'm like, there's no possible way I could like this guy. I don't like this guy. I never really liked him, but now I feverishly do not like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, Shane Gillis has just had such like a rocket, and then also like he called somebody a chink in an interview, which that makes him popular with the edgelords. So everybody kind of loves him, dude.
He survived that.
Yeah, he survived that, and dude, he's fucking amazing. Like he like responded to my DMs. I was like, hey, I liked your special back in the day. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But somebody like that, like people will be all over it if he puts out a special where he's like a little, like I think it's kind of going on with Theo, like people were kind of talking shit about him because he had some sort of incident when he was filming his special.
Yeah, which we never even got to see, but you heard about it. Yeah, which is kind of a new thing. Is that now the same thing with Akash? Akash did some bits about him and his girl or whatever, and I think somebody did have an audio recording of it, but like I saw like a video about it before it was available.
That's why you need a private investigator.
But it was based on just like Redditors reviewing it harshly.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I just need to change my shirt. This is freaking me out. I feel like I have fucking diarrhea all over me.
I don't think it's that big. I mean, they saw you spill. I know you didn't shit on your chest.
8 seconds, sorry. Oh, I forgot we're live, so you got to just...
I got to entertain the crowd, dude. Lush for mayor of MacArthur Park. It's MacArthur Park. Somebody said, I'm a fuck you till you white Grinch. Okay, I thought they were talking shit about me in my race. I will not be racially intimidated on here. Scholes has pure hatred in his heart, and he's the devil. I haven't picked up on that. Here's the thing with Scholes that impresses me about him. He's done crowd work specials that are friggin' dynamite. So you can't say he's funny through smoke and mirrors and through writing only. And then his new special that he did about having the baby and all that shit, that is like A++ level joke writing. I was talking to my buddy Ryan Long about that. He's like a top New York comic. That is, shout out Ryan Long. He was also just murdering it, dude. What his special on YouTube? It came out like a year ago. Highly recommend. It's probably like the best YouTube only special that's come out in a while.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna start a channel. I'm gonna use a voice changer, and I'm gonna shit on him. I'm gonna make a whole career off of just talking about how shitty Ryan Long is.
It's probably not a bad move, dude. I mean, honestly, just career-wise. Danny, make sure Adam starts busting it wide open for BLM.
Oh, wow. I mean, that would be a good way to show that you're a friend of the colored folk.
Wait, what is I don't even know what busting it wide means, dude. What does that mean?
Busting it open would be really you like bending over and shaking your ass to the point where people could almost like see into your asshole.
What? I thought you had like bust my face open.
No,
I thought you'd have to jump across the table here and beat me up.
Pop pussy as well.
Lush said he's going to pack Danny for disrespecting the black community. I'm getting packed by Lush, dude. Is he here today?
Oh, Lush is here in the other room.
I don't want to get packed by Lush, bro.
Lush is, in reality, Lush would just suck your cock. He'd be like, "Oh, Danny, I watch your videos all the time. You're so cool. I love you, bro." Yeah.
Lush, I heard Lush talking trash about us based on a video we did down at the border.
Oh.
Where okay, we got a note from producer Big Cock Mikey.
Brick Baby's court date is postponed. All right,
that's good. Shout out Brick Baby. Hell yeah, dude.
That is something that we've been waiting on.
That's another thing we were talking about. Like when an interview gets canceled, you're hyped. When your court date gets postponed, dude, that is freedom right there.
Oh yeah, but I mean, with Brick Baby, it's kind of like he could get out, or he could sit in there for 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, it's pretty unlikely they would like just get out right away. But like, he could get really good news, or he could get very bad news. So
dude,
it's kind of up in there.
I just got my felony cleared because I mean I was like locked up for one night. Sorry, guys.
Wait, so they never actually pressed charges about that? This was from you pretending to be a dentist in Tennessee
a dental hygienist. I'm the real hood N-word here at No Jumper Studios, bitch. But yeah, I pretended to be a dental hygienist, and I did a night in jail in Tennessee. I was on probation for a year, having to go in and check in at the probation office in downtown LA.
But they never actually pressed charges?
It was never on my record, and now it's like completely like expunged. I walked away clean. Wow. But it just cost like 10 G's in legal fees and a bunch of... I had to fly out to Tennessee a couple times.
Dude, like down south is like, we will arrest you and we will fuck your life up for a while. And if we don't have charges to put on you, we'll figure that out at a later date.
Yeah.
LA is, we know that we don't have what we need to press charges against you. So just go crazy.
Yeah.
Just live out here on the streets, kill people, rob, do whatever you need to do. But,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. There's a night stalker in downtown who's slitting pregnant women's throats.
Yeah.
And there's a psychopath in Beverly Hills who's like raping his anesthetized plastic surgery.
But we're waiting for the DNA to come back, so we can't do anything.
So, and like, you're a YouTuber who's making a ruckus in a 7-Eleven? Go along. Fine. Like, whereas in Tennessee or in Florida, you get in trouble for that shit, which is why California and LA in particular is a great place to make content.
Yeah. No, totally. I can't even imagine doing the kind of stuff that you do down south. Down south, you got to really decide, like, I'm going to follow the rules.
Yeah. And I'm getting better about that now, like knowing where the rules are. But yeah, a lot of streamer guys in Miami, I've been talking to them. I guess there's not much, because I guess the big streamers kind of stopped handing out contracts, and I guess there's not a ton of money in IRL streaming anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas it seemed like that was the gold mine.
The audience seems like it's just not really there for it that much too. Like, I know a lot of like pretty big YouTubers who have like given it a try. And I think just the assumption that because people like watching you sit behind your computer and react to stuff, that they will also want to watch you do IRL streaming. That is not a safe assumption at all.
I know a couple like top vloggers who have both gone over and messed around with streaming a little bit and been like, nah, not into it. Like, I like two top guys.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. I mean, it's nice that it's there, and because like right now YouTube, it's really Like it's unlike anything that's ever happened to me on the platform.
Yeah.
Like really crazy. Like it feels like a targeted attack. Like just daily shit's getting demonetized. I'll cut the thing that got me in trouble out of the video. They'll just give me a new timestamp for something that never would have gotten me in trouble in years past.
Give me an example of the kind of thing.
So a video just got age restricted because we were doing a joke where there was an old redneck we found at a fair who sold cars, and we asked him like if when he was a kid if he would have sold a car to a gay guy hypothetically. He's like, never would have. I would have hit him if they got within arm's reach. And then we started doing act outs where like we came in with limp wrists like, hi sir, I'd like to purchase a Mustang. And then I said like, I'll suck your dick for a Camaro at one point, and the I'll suck your dick for a Camaro triggered an age restriction. I cut it out. I cut that whole chunk out, and then they referred me to a section where I said like, if a girl shows up late for work around here, she gotta give you a blowjob. Just the word blowjob. I got the video age restricted.
Wow.
Which is like, that's all my videos should be age restricted if that's the measuring stick.
I mean, yeah, and like same thing for No Jumper too. Like we just talk about so much crazy shit on here over and over, so many swear words, and it just feels like somehow the like 4-hour wall of people sitting in chairs talking is like so much less likely to get flagged than like the IRL type shit. But also we do get shit age restricted like way after the fact too.
Sure. Like, I mean, we got a video that just randomly axed from our podcast channel for like talking about like we were our cameraman blacked out one night. We thought he got like R-worded. I'll try to not get you guys age restricted here. Okay. And we talked about like doing a test on like putting a couple fingers up him, and like that got the video taken down, dude.
What?
Like just they've been fucking with
dude,
us.
We got a video age restricted on Plug Talk because the girl was talking about Drake, and she said like, oh my God, I want to meet Drake so bad. Like, oh my God, if I meet him, I am going to I'm going to fuck the shit out of him.
Yeah.
It got taken down for like somehow like saying that about someone who's not there.
Okay.
Is regarded as like, unwanted sexual contact. And I'm like,
I'm sure Drake would be okay with it.
I'm like, I can hit him up right now.
Did she have a BBL?
I'm so sure that he's cool with it. I can't remember what girl it was.
If she had
honestly.
a BBL, he's cool with it. I know Drake's type. I am Eskimo Brothers with him.
Which, what kind of girl?
He likes thick bitches.
Really?
Yeah, he likes thick bitches, dude.
Yeah.
I know his type well. I knew a couple of girls who were hooking up with Drake, and it's not the sorority chick type. Yeah, that's another guy. I need to have a talk with Drake.
Yeah,
I need to give him a symposium at the beginning of his new album recording process and be like, listen, Drake, you're going for the wrong bitches. They're gonna suck you dry sexually and then suck you dry financially.
Yeah.
He's probably got some shit in place though to prevent that.
I'm going to say this just because we're on this weird episode and not on the main No Jumper content, but I have had some like pretty significant conversations with Drake about women.
Yeah.
And you would be surprised. You would be surprised how much of like I wonder like, is he pulling the wool over my eyes? But he talks about girls like he's a regular guy. Which is weird because it's like, I know you're not. Like,
yeah,
you just like fuck like almost every girl out
was
there.
He like, oh yeah, she didn't get back. She left me on red. Oh man, I've been trying to get this one bitch. She being elusive and shit. Like, what's he saying?
That was one thing.
He said a bitch is being elusive, dude?
He told me a couple of girls that left him on red.
What?
That were like, her? Like, wow. Like, that's crazy. Like, I can't really fathom.
I really want to know if that's true because that is so crazy.
Well, I know
I
do know at least one of them. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I kind of know that he's telling the truth because.
Damn. And he probably, like, to him, that's probably so frustrating that, like, it overshadows the fact that he's, like, ripping holes in Victoria's Secret models. Like, he's probably just as dissatisfied in his dating life as, like, I am because it's all relative.
I think, like, you and him, in a lot of ways, probably have, like, similar issues, which is just you've just been through all the hoes, and it's like how do you end up treating a girl like she's special at this point? Once you kind of just feel like you know everything that's out there, and
you're in LA, so you're getting like the most poisonous selection of women there. And no disrespect, I actually like a lot of that. Like the OnlyFans girls seem to be like some of the most down to earth girls out here, ironically. But
at least everything's all kind of out in the open.
Exactly.
Like if you wife up a girl and she's like, yeah, you can see my pussy online, and I got fucked by Tyga on my OnlyFans a couple years back. I mean, then you're officially at the point where it's like, oh, you have an awkward encounter with her ex-boyfriend at the club. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I already know you fuck Tyga. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not really that stressed out about you fucking Jimmy over here.
Yeah. Whereas if the girl's like, works at a tech company and there's some like lacrosse player looking stud at the bar who has like a 5-minute conversation, you're like, who the fuck is this guy talking to my angel?
No, totally. Yeah.
My immaculate little angel. Oh, dude, you know what I'm doing this weekend that you fucking probably love?
What?
So I've been linking up with Tyler Durden, the pickup artist.
Yeah.
You know him? He's
he's the one in the Looks Maxing video with you?
He's the one in the Looks Maxing video.
The older guy now?
But he's also in the book, The Game, which is like the foundational text of the pickup artist community.
Which I read, as well as the couple of editions that came out afterwards.
Yeah.
It was like a follow-up book.
The Truth.
About
relationships. Yeah, The Game, can't recommend it enough for young guys. It's like, first of all, it's like a page-turning read, but it also just all about like how to seduce women. And the guy who wrote it's a great writer, and the techniques in it all work. But I'm going with him to a boot camp this weekend. I'm going to his place in Beverly Hills, and then we're like hitting the bars with a bunch of students, and I'm going to watch them just run infield game all night.
And you can show everybody in your content. You don't have to blur anybody's face.
I'm not filming. I'm just going out solo, dude.
Oh, wow.
I just want to like go check it out.
I would love to see what that's actually like so much.
Yeah. I know Channel 5 Andrew did a video on it back in the day where it was at a boot camp. I don't think there was maybe there was some infield, but yeah, I could definitely.
i.e. talking to women.
At the bar, like put a mic on one of these fucking nerds and like watch him do magic tricks for the cocktail waitress. Like that kind of thing. Because we did 2 videos on pickup, and the first one, like a lot of those techniques in the game, like the magic tricks, the peacocking where you're wearing a top hat and goggles, that shit fucking works. And it's all based in like evolutionary psychology principles that back up why it works. But it's still really funny seeing like a first time nerd crash and burn. It's like doing a comedy routine where like if you just tell a joke and it bombs, it's a lot less humiliating than if you need like a hammer and a watermelon and you need to have like your underwear on your head. Yeah. If that bombs, it's humiliating, which like that's what their kind of game is. Yeah.
No, totally. I mean, I used to read those books, and it was crazy because like the time in which I read those books was probably around like 2008, and I had gone through, I dated a girl for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. We broke up. I'm freshly on the single scene, but for the first time in my life in 2008, I've got something to actually kind of hang my hat on because I'm like a BMX blogger at that time. So I've actually got like a little bit of money, and I've got a little bit of like a thing I can talk about, and I've got all these plans of all these other things I'm working on. So I'm like, for the first time in my life, I'm not a complete loser. And those books really kind of like helped get me in the right mind state of going out and meeting women and having that confidence, even though I don't know if I really adopted like anything that they suggested in terms of like literal things. In terms, I never wore a red sparkly cowboy hat. I never fucking, I was just like a little bit more tame in terms of like what I would actually walk up to women and say.
Well, I mean, you're covered in tattoos and you're a BMXer, which is kind of your red sparkly cowboy hat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, but either way, it's like it's
similar. It's peacocking.
But it would make me realize how bad my game was when I would like want to go talk to a woman, and then my thing that I would want to say to her was like, so how are you doing? Where do you work?
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, I just read that in that book. Like, that is not a good thing to say.
For people like who are wondering what Adam's talking about there, like they recommend things like where the girl asks you what you do for a living and you don't say, I'm junior management at Morgan Stanley. They recommend saying things like, I'm a cigarette lighter repairman.
Yeah.
I'm a circus seal trainer. Just make
something that'll get their attention. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of the things like Tyler Durden, this guy, like he is not a conventionally good looking guy, but I've seen infield footage of him just like pimping the shit out of hot girls in clubs with just the most outlandish, playful banter that's not even rooted in reality. Wow, he's talking about fucking nonsense, dude.
Really?
Yeah. And he's a huge pimp.
And he's in a relationship now, or he's single?
He's got kids, but I think he might be doing the kind of like, Roman emperor kind of thing where they're just like the Elon Musk plan of action.
Wow.
He's homies with Ty Lopez, and I know Ty Lopez has like just a bunch of kids with like random like Swedish bitches.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, dude.
Ty Lopez almost got Lena before me.
No way, dude.
Because not like in a sexual way, but I think she had gone on a meeting to be like a employee or whatever. Like, right. I've never told this story on here before, I don't think. But basically, she had done one meeting to be an employee, right? And then she's hanging out with me like around the exact same time. And there was a video of her and I drunk as fuck, and she's just like grinding on me. And one of my friends had filmed it, and I posted it on Twitter. And this is like kind of when we first met, like the second time we had hung out or whatever. And she was just kind of like grinding on me. We're like making out. And Ty Lopez saw it. And Ty Lopez fully like called her and told her how he was still considering her for the job. But basically that like, you know, seeing her do stuff with guys like this was like very unsettling and really made him like wonder like if she was the right person for the job or whatever. And it was kind of insane for her to be telling me this, because I'm like sitting there thinking like, so you actually thought that Ty Lopez wanted to hire you? You didn't think that he was just trying to fuck you? Like, to me, I would assume that he was just trying to fuck you.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like that was, she never, I don't think ever talked to him again after that.
What was his position that he was going to hire her for?
You know, whatever this like agency or whatever that he was doing in like 2016, or like he was, I forget what it was. He had some kind of like business going on that he was always yapping about.
Yeah, I think that's their thing, dude. Like he's really into evolutionary psychology. I think he's just on the Elon play where they're just trying to like be rich and just have a bunch of kids. Just like that's like their form of immortality.
But you know what's funny is that okay, around that exact same time, there was this fucking hot ass blonde chick that I was hanging out. I was actually in some of the older No Jumper vlogs, but she said to me, she said like one time, she's like, you know Ty Lopez? I go, I've seen YouTube videos about him. She goes like, oh my God, one time I went to a party and I saw Dan Bilzerian and he was trying to tell me that his friend Ty Lopez would pay me $500 to have sex with him. And at that moment, I was just like, what the fuck? What is going on in my dating life that I have multiple different overlaps with Ty Lopez?
I'm happy with the figure. So, I mean, with inflation, that's probably $720 to be fair.
I think you start low.
Start low.
You start $500 and then you kind of slowly work your way up.
Dude, there is like...
And I don't know if that's true. That might not be true.
There are... What's the price you would pay? Like, assuming you were a single guy and it is... like a fitness model, 24 years old, massive ass, rippling abs, perky tits. Like, what would you drop with your current financial situation to have sex with her?
What you were describing is something I'm legitimately scared of. I feel like if I were to start purchasing prostitutes, like if I was single, and I just don't know if I'd be able to stop.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be doing this like a couple times a week. And it's going to basically like thwart me getting into a serious relationship because I'm going to be having so much fun.
It probably would. But I asked you how much you'd put down. You go first and then
Well, I'll put it like this, is that there's been girls that we had on Plug Talk who, from my perspective, smoking hot.
Yeah.
And I click on their website, on their Twitter. All of a sudden, I'm looking at their menu and I'm realizing you could fuck this girl for like $1,000 for like an hour.
But I'm talking about a girl who's not an OnlyFans girl, who like you would be breaking the sound barrier, as it were, getting to her pussy first. Like,
I don't know. Even the $1,000 just seems like such a deal for something as amazing as getting to fuck you for an hour.
Yeah, that's
$1,000 is like already so cheap in my mind that I'm like, wow. And that's why I think it's so amazing that girls are selling pussy on the street for $40.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I haven't talked about this with you, but we went down to Tijuana recently, and
How was that?
It was amazing. Like, I hooked up with a Latina Kim Kardashian basically for $200 total once, because you got to grease, you know, the guy who gives you the key to the room. You got to grease the maid.
Where'd you go?
Dude, we went to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And it's the vibe is amazing. It's a club. The vibe is a fucking club.
I have been there, and I have fucked girls in the back room as well.
So there we go. You and I are the same. Maybe
Tijuana's foremost strip club. Yeah.
It's just like, I love the vibe of like, it doesn't feel sleazy, like you're picking up a fucking girl on fucking Fig, and like they're dressed kind of hip and cool. Like my girl had aviators and like a cute outfit on, just massive fake ass, fake titties, face sculpted all to hell.
Oh my God.
$200. I get to hit it. I'd never fucked a BBL before. That was my first BBL on a very used mattress in Tijuana.
Oh my God, that sounds so fun. Holy shit. So you fucking in the strip club?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, in a room. I didn't.
Why am I married?
Bend a bitch over. And
why am I a married porn star? That sounds like so much fun. You wear a condom though?
Yeah, I wore a condom.
I don't.
Whereas, like, if you fucking DM one of these fitness girls, maybe you don't. You know?
Actually, no, I think I'll wear a condom.
Yeah,
I'll wear a condom.
I think you could probably pay him enough where you don't have to. My buddy Leo was funny. He was DMing one because, like, his girl was sort of like you know, like a take home to mom appearing kind of girl. I think she was like on a local sports team in Tijuana.
And now she's a prostitute at the most popular strip club in Tijuana.
She doubles that. And he was like trying to stay in touch with her outside of the club, like texting her and shit. And I think he thought that like she was into him and like he was going to be able to keep fucking her. But then like they start talking. He's like, I'm going to fuck you in the ass, baby. Like it's so beautiful. I want that last hole. And she's like,
that last hole?
She was like, $500, baby.
Oh my God.
So it was still on. She was still a hustler, even outside the confines of the club.
Bro, nothing could be cooler than fucking a prostitute in Mexico and then moving her to LA and having her be your girlfriend and having to constantly hide her from ICE.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Day in, day out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not going after the big booty Latinas. Let's be. But
well, if they break the law or in any way end up targeted, you never know.
Yeah, that's true. That's something we were talking about, the having a private eye follow around your chick. That is such a blind spot that everybody is susceptible from time to time. Like, we all know smart guys who have gotten with a chick who's just like ripping them off or doing something crazy. There was a buddy we had whose girlfriend was like from Latin America and just lied and said she was a doctor constantly. Told everybody she was a doctor and like a practicing doctor, but the story would never add up because she never went to work. And then she'd always give you some runaround about she's got to go study for a course to get her license here. And this guy she was dating completely introduced her as a doctor at public functions and was not draining his bank account, but I mean, he wasn't saving a penny of his very healthy income because it would all go to this bitch.
Yeah.
And he's like a sensible guy otherwise, makes almost $200,000 a year, but he just his blind spot was so that he could not acknowledge this was a South American grifter.
Wow.
You need a private eye.
No, yeah, but like, I mean, a lot of guys would probably get the private eye and then they would tell them all these harsh truths about their girl and they're just like, whatever.
Dude, it's so fucked up.
I love her.
It's so fucked up. I was reading Johnny Carson's biography and amazing. His lawyer wrote it and just the stories in it are incredible. But Johnny, like they all cornered him with a prenup before his second marriage because the first marriage, I believe, had cut Johnny in half financially. And at this point, he'd done a bunch of huge deals. He had clothing deals, network television deals, stand-up gigs. I mean, he was making what would be equivalent to hundreds of millions a year at that time. And they knew he was going to marry this bitch. And they knew Johnny was a drunk and a philanderer. They're like, dude, fucking sign this prenup right now. They cornered him at the Beverly Hills Hotel before the ceremony. And he's like, it seems so unromantic, and just ripped it up. And then
Same thing happened. Oh my God.
Cut in half again.
Wow. This poor bastard. That is so fucking crazy. Holy shit. Wow. Dude, you know, it just occurs to me that like this whole conversation started because I was trying to tell you a story that I never got to finish.
Okay. Can I interrupt you one more time and go to take a piss?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You want to talk to the chat for a second?
Oh yeah, we're live. Yeah. Okay.
I think they're liking it. They like that I'm communicating, or you're communicating with another white person. They like that.
Is this really live? Why would you put it at the same time as the news? That was not the plan. The plan was not to put this at the same time as the news. The plan was just to do this and then put it out. And then I was thinking about it. You know what is weird, actually? It feels like in my old age, being 42, that the chat is like driving the boat more than ever when it comes to podcasting. Like, I just feel like the chat is almost like, you know, when you do a regular podcast, I have somebody help me or I do it myself and we put together a list. Oh, these are the topics. When you're live and you've got the chat just feeding you things to talk about the whole time, or like, you know, he'll be saying something, not him specifically, but like he'll say something and I'll be thinking in my head, like, you know, my opinion of that thing. And then I'll realize like the chat already told me the thing that I needed to point out about what he just said. And it's like, when you don't have the chat, you have to do all the thinking yourself. When you have the chat, they're kind of like guiding you in the direction of what is the most relevant thing to talk about at that time. Granted, it's not 100%, but it definitely helps. So I don't know. Holy shit. I'm just like looking at my email and just because the email happens to be oh, wait a minute. What email am I logged in on? Can you not show the screen?
Yeah, it's not on.
Okay. But why is Josh ordering High Rollers merchandise right now? Who did Josh order a house phone sweater for? Yeah, definitely don't show the screen because there are naked women on these. That's very interesting. 4 minutes ago, Josh ordered a little house phone sweater, which is kind of surprising. Good for him, but also...
You think there's any chance the stream is just telling the news guys that we're in here saying a bunch of racist stuff about him?
Honestly, that would put me in such an awkward position if they decided that they wanted to do the like Danny Mullen is racist thing, and I had to be like, listen, guys, we got 8 fucking clips about this topic on this podcast already. Over the years. I just feel like maybe just accept that he used to say the N-word and he took a dump on Martin Luther King. Yeah.
That was a Hawaiian man named Kahuna. That was not me.
Right.
And I said the N-word like 3 times on camera, most of the time with an A. But whenever I said it, it was with black supervision. There was like a black guy who was co-signing it. Most notably, AB, the last time. I don't know if you saw that video. The Antonio Brown baseball video. But,
I just feel like it would be such an awkward conversation for them to be like, oh, he's racist. That we're going to make some content. And me be like, no. We already did that.
Yeah.
Even though that is what I would want to do. I would kind of just have to like let them be. No, but that's what you got to say is like, no, you must watch these 8 clips of other people calling him out for racism. Yeah. And then if you still want to do more content about this after that, then we can do that.
If you hire a private detective and you find some new racist shit I did, then you can come at me.
Oh, that would be great. Actually, I would love that. Yeah. Now you're stepping things up. Anyway, this is what I was going to say is that, so there's this girl I know. She's cute. She got way too much plastic surgery. I go to this party. She's hanging out with multiple trans girls, which already, as a woman, this is kind of like a weird thing to do, right? To like hang out with trans girls, because people are going to think that you're trans just by hanging out with them.
Yeah.
The fact that you've kind of already put yourself in the realm of people who've had too much plastic surgery and you're kicking it with the trans community, just kind of like, whoa, like you're really making it so that a straight guy is going to have no clue if you're a biological woman.
Yeah. It's like a Marine sniper having to take a shot with a bunch of people in a village behind the target.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not taking that shot.
Yeah.
Too risky.
Yeah. And especially I'm drunk. I mean, not really, but like probably if you're out and about.
Yeah.
You're already like, you're kind of blurry eyed looking at this girl and she's surrounded by trans girls. It's kind of like, yeah, pick the real woman. Like this is not going to be as easy as it seems. Yeah. Josh, why are you ordering house phone sweaters?
I feel like we still owe him some support.
You bought a hoodie for yourself or for a gift for someone?
It's Michael.
I'll wear a house phone shirt.
They're gay.
It might be, I don't think he'd like me wearing one of his shirts, unfortunately. Though.
He bought Michael a phone. But I know you're being slippery too, because I clicked on the email and then as soon as I was done looking at the email, it was already removed from the inbox.
Because you clicked it.
Why would it be removed just because I clicked it?
Because it's no longer, only the newest messages are in the inbox.
Since when? That's not on my email.
This is what the people tuned in for.
He's out here doing
office
stuff.
Drama.
Yeah, how email works.
Yeah.
Well, the tab at the top does say unread.
Yeah.
So if I change, oh yeah, look, everything else, boom, it's still there. So I guess that is how this email works. That's pretty funny. Okay. Anyway, shout out to Danny Mullen. We didn't have topics for this one. We didn't know what the fuck we were going to talk about. We just got in here and did a chat for all the people who miss the days of Sledgelords, and maybe we did talk about potentially doing like a remote online sort of like Zoom call type version on a more consistent basis, which I honestly, that might be kind of my move. Like there's another podcast I was thinking about starting on a consistent basis too. And it's with people who don't live in LA. And I was just thinking like, fuck, why even sit in traffic for 45 minutes when you can just do it from your crib?
Yeah. There's a lot of top podcasts now, or that's the vibe. That's how it goes. It's just like talking to your computer. I mean, there's some nice stuff about this, getting to talk to people, hang out. I mean, when we do this, it kind of feels like we're just hanging out. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
You kind of get the little like runner's high of having coffee with somebody.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, I did something primates are supposed to do.
But with an audience. Yeah.
With an audience.
But no, that's why I feel like that I love that idea, but also it's kind of sad in a way, because there's so many great things that come with doing a podcast with a bunch of people in the same room.
Yeah.
But then there's also like, it's a lot of bullshit that kind of comes with it too. I feel like No Jumper, generally speaking, is like an energy podcast.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to do a podcast that was more like intellectual, more not more intellectual, but like a little bit more just about the conversation, then who cares if you're all in the same room?
Yeah.
You know? But also, what you were just saying about how easy this has been, I feel like that sometimes is the problem, is that it's like when we were doing weekly, now you got to actually really work to figure out what you're going to talk about. And maybe it's not so easy to hit an hour and a half. And now you're bringing in guests, and some of them are bisexual, and some of them are gay, and some of them are
got their ass eaten over recording booths, dude.
Some of them are exposing your friends for having sex with them.
Yeah. Some of them are bitter ex-skateboarders. No, I got nothing against Jason Ells.
No, but that's the funny part, is that is just that the Jason one was called bisexual healing, and then the Gracie Jane one was called transsexual healing.
And where do we go from there?
I did title it that, but I always thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I had a good time, man. Yeah. And this is also a different subject matter, probably. I mean, you're not talking about hip hop, certainly, when I'm on here.
I had to tell you who Forrester was, which I think is great. I think that's like really important.
Yeah. I'm like reading at a second grade level when it comes to hip hop. You really got to sound things out for me.
No, totally. And, so one thing I was wondering though is because I saw that Cigar Guy's back.
Cigar Guy's back. I've been kind of busy, like getting we had like one of our last big videos of the year we just put up, so I was busy. But yeah, Cigar Guy was one of the more legendary characters on our channel who's been floating around. We've been meaning to get in touch.
Got his butthole fingered by Kazumi on the No Jumper Patreon.
I forgot about that legendary moment.
Never heard from him again.
Smoked his foreskin at a live podcast we did. His dad overnight mailed him his foreskin. He put that shit in a refrigerator light bulb, aka a meth pipe, and smoked it up.
Smoked his foreskin.
He smoked his fucking foreskin, dude.
Sometimes you got to do that.
We made it into a what was like the shaver brand that everybody was sponsored by, Manscaped.
Yeah.
We turned it into a Manscaped ad. And it was probably like they really threw a lot of money at me for that ad.
Really?
And the video got immediately age restricted. Oh. And it was like their brand was associated with foreskin smoking. It was probably the worst ROI any company's gotten ever.
Did you hear anything about this from them?
I mean, you never hear back from brands.
I know, right? Yeah.
Like the only time I've ever gotten like renewed was with gambling. Like I guess my audience was like eating that up. But like every other ad read I do, I think fails miserably.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah, because I just never really like hear anything.
Yeah.
But you know what? One time somebody told me that when a company advertises, like, you know, a gambling sponsor or whatever, that if you do a podcast with 100,000 people watching it and you do a gambling ad and 2 or 3 people sign up using your code, that to them, that is a huge success.
Yeah, because lifetime, 2 or 3 people signing up, probably 2 of them are going to gamble. Maybe one puts down $100, never uses it again. One becomes a responsible, moderate gambler. Yeah. And then they're counting on one guy to just go off the deep end.
But I think that in general for them, that's just proof that like, oh, this is a real thing. That this actually exists. And that even just that is like kind of enough for them to be, because like in large part, just like the billboard effect of like, oh, everybody hearing about your product probably goes a long way too. But anyway, that made me think like, oh, so if we get new sponsors, like we should just tell everybody in the office to sign up.
Yeah, there you go.
Because if you get fucking 6 people signing up from, then that's pretty good, right?
That could be technically illegal. You might have to read some of the fine print there. Like I know, like Jimmy Tatro, one of the OG YouTubers, got his first channel deleted because he got everybody on his floor in college just to click his Google ads while his videos played, and Google somehow found out and shut down his first channel. But where do you stand on the gambling thing? Because sometimes I feel morally conflicted about that, but then like I also look at it like the only brands willing to touch my kind of content, which clearly means a lot to a lot of people, the only brands that'll touch me and support me and get my cameraman and my people on an airplane and feed my editing staff who have kids, the only people who will do that are the gambling brands. So it's a win for my audience overall.
I would do ads for Marlboros on here if it came down to it, you know? And I feel like, hey, like, like y'all are grown-ups. Like, y'all should be able to understand that, like, just I advertise all kinds of shit on here that I don't.
I mean,
partaken.
Totally fair. And if they're not hearing it here, I mean, it's so mainstream now, gambling. Like you listen to a Fox morning show when you're at a casino, like, you know, getting ready to drive back home, and Colin Cowherd's telling you to sign up for Prize Picks. Like,
I don't think that the thing to be worried about is people doing ads for gambling on their podcasts. I think the thing to be worried about is what happens to the podcasting space if something were to happen that would make all those companies leave. Because I think in large part, a lot of those companies are probably the ones who are like propping up a lot of streamers and podcasters and content creators. So if anything, even if you don't gamble, you should probably be appreciative of those sponsors, because those are basically sponsors that are paying for a lot of this content that you guys watch to be created. So I mean, for me personally, I don't feel conflicted about it in any way, because I mean, anything like what else am I going to do? Like even like, okay, if we're really talking about what you feel morally conflicted about, like even back in the day, getting ads from like clothing sponsors on the BMX side of things, I would kind of think that like, what? Yeah, I'm doing ads for just like companies that just want to sell you these fucking retarded t-shirts that like realistically are bad for the environment. You're only going to wear it a couple times. It's just like, I don't know. As a total, I'm such a non-consumer. I don't buy anything.
I'm like that too.
I eat eggs, bacon, and coffee. And then I have like a meal prep place. It's just like, I just don't really like, I'm not much of a consumer in general. So the idea of like,
my car is I got a new car. That's like the only thing now.
It's just like, I don't know. Like I barely know how to online shop. I'm actually very worried about Christmas, because I feel like some of the things that I bought online might not be coming.
There's a high probability. I mean, you should have just used Amazon and punched in your address, but if you failed that task, dude, I mean, one of the things there's so much shit we could talk about here. Like one of the things, I don't know how much longer we're doing this, but I wanted to talk about like,
I'll give you the last topic.
I mean, so the coming AI revolution. I know you and I had a conversation once. You put it like very astutely. You said 2 years ago it was crypto, then it was the metaverse, and then it was AI. But it seems like AI is the big one that's actually sticking.
Well, they've actually developed a product that we all use, because I'm sure
Opus Clip.
Do you wade into ChatGPT from time to time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's really helpful. For research I'm doing for videos, it's been incredible.
There was never a moment in which the metaverse seemed useful. There was never a moment in which NFTs seemed useful, besides like maybe like pie in the sky ass possibilities for them. So yeah, I mean, at least in that sense, it seems like AI is changing the world, but also it's like obviously not going to be able to change the world as much as the trillions of dollars that are being invested in it.
Well, we'll see, because I have a Tesla with FSD, so I like see firsthand the real world applications of AI. My car is completely autonomous, completely drives itself. My dad, who's in his like mid 70s now and is getting to the point where he's not going to be able to drive, he has one. So he's completely mobile now. My mom, who's having health problems, is completely mobile because I have a Tesla, or she has a Tesla up there.
Wow, really?
So yeah, that's huge. And then Elon also has coming down the pike his Optimus, which is going to be a humanoid robot that uses all the same vision and training that their cameras on the cars use. But like what's interesting to me is it going to be a utopian or a dystopian future? Because Elon tweeted out that in like 7 years everybody's going to have high income and everybody's going to be rich. Which to me, that would lead to all sorts of other problems, like a lack of meaning, people just drinking every day, fighting in the streets, just trying to feel something in a world of like just level playing field. But then the other view is that it's going to be very dystopian and everybody's going to lose their job to AI, and all the benefits are going to accrue to asset owners and then the big tech corporations. And then so I just like both of those sound unattractive. We're a place where everybody just gets a fat paycheck, and a world where nobody gets a paycheck. Both of those sound awful to me.
Well, I think everybody getting a fat paycheck would be pretty nice, if the world was actually structured in such a way that like you could take care of yourself, and that was considered like that, you being able to have an apartment and have a reasonable amount of food, and you could drive your car around. Like if everybody had enough money that those things were taken care of, and like your health care, and you've got like Netflix. I mean, if that was considered the bare bones standard of living, nobody is living worse than that. I think that's pretty good. And then, hey, you make TikToks, you make YouTube videos, you do whatever it is so that you can try to create more value. You start a pizza shop.
Meaningful things like TikTok and YouTube.
I'm just saying, like, what else? Like, at a certain point, a lot of this is just going to become like if Amazon has their way, there's just not going to be that much money to make as like a local restaurant here.
Agreed. Like I don't even know like how people are going to make money once. I mean, the first thing that's going to go are the cabs. Like all the cabs and Uber drivers, they're done. They're like the technology's already here.
But have you ever actually Googled like how to make money as a autonomous car, like, you know, as Tesla or as Waymo or whatever, it is unbelievably hard to make money as these businesses. And like, if they are even able to be profitable in the long term, very much remains to be seen.
I mean, Tesla I think they turn out a car in their gigafactories like every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to make their vehicles for like $15,000.
Yeah.
So already Waymo is done because Waymo has to get
It's like
their vehicles.
$1 million.
I think they're like in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, it's
they have to get it from Jaguar, and all that LiDAR and shit costs a ton of money. Obviously Uber, where they have to pay drivers who occasionally beat up and sexually assault the girls in the backseat.
Yeah.
Obviously they're not going to be able to compete. But Tesla, Elon is like a supply chain manufacturing genius. People don't really give him credit for that. So I mean, his whole thing was the machine that builds the machine, meaning the factories are that's the art is the factory.
Yeah.
So they're going to be able just to churn out so many fucking cars. It's going to be profitable for them.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But you saying that about your parents is like, wow, that's eye-opening, because my parents my mom seems fine, but my dad is kind of getting to that point where it's kind of like, damn, like, should you be driving? Because I had an uncle.
Well, he's Illuminati. I'm sure there's a chauffeur service for him.
Do you know he actually came on the podcast with Whack? We did an episode with him and Whack together. No, but like, just the idea of like, oh, I could like help him out and the world by making you a safer driver by getting you a self-driving car.
Bro, in LA with the full self-driving, there's no chance you're going to see me driving myself around on the freeway. I just put on a podcast, like take a phone call, just completely zoned out.
So you're in the front seat on your phone, doing whatever, not thinking at all about slamming on the brakes if things were to go bad?
Not at all.
Okay.
I know it's so much better than me. Like yesterday, a palm frond blew into the road while I was like just, in la la land in my head. And the car immediately swerves and brakes perfectly, let the palm frond pass. Like, whereas I never would have got to it in time. I would have ran this fucking thing over and it would have like fucked up my front end.
What is a palm frond?
Like a big leaf from a palm tree. Like a full size, like old rotten one.
You know what's crazy is I remember 2019, I think I interviewed Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
And he told me about how much he loved his Tesla and how he had to actually hang a plastic bag off of the steering wheel to make the car think that he was holding the wheel because it had like driver assist, but now I guess it's fully autonomous.
Fully autonomous. You still have to pay attention to the road. If you're texting too much, because it's got a camera in the cabin, it'll make sure you're looking ahead. But that is just a regulatory thing they got to clear. The technology's ready for showtime. Like I rarely, like if I ever turn it off, it's because I don't like the route the car's taking. That's the only reason I turn it off, really.
And then you'll drive for a little bit and then turn it on again.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. But I mean, we just drove down from San Francisco to LA. I never took it off once, and it didn't even feel like I was driving. Like I was completely relaxed when I got into LA because it just drove me the whole way.
But if it wasn't for this camera that's tracking your eyes, you could just sleep.
Yeah, I have fallen asleep in it before a bunch of times.
See, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I trust it that much.
Just like the idea that I could drive to San Francisco and also get 6 hours of sleep.
Yes.
I could do the drive at midnight, like at like the last time I would ever want to drive normally.
It's a red eye, yeah. Damn. Dude, it's pretty dope, man. It's something to look into. And like also the thing is I just sound like a fucking Tesla salesman right now, but they're the same price or cheaper than all the other SUVs in the class. Like an Audi SUV is so fucking expensive and it doesn't drive itself.
I hate Elon. I don't think I could buy his car.
He's just like a nerd.
I just hate him.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, I mean, now you're because I was kind of thinking about that. Like my lease might be done in like a year or something.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking like, what is the cheapest, easiest, most efficient car that I could possibly get that is not like a status symbol or whatever? Maybe I should just do that because
that's a Tesla. Because I mean, a Tesla's like you have your shit together if you have a Tesla, but you're not pulling up to the club in a blacked out G-Wagon.
Yeah. Which is just kind of gaudy for me. Because my fucking business manager tried to tell me about a G-Wagon because you can write it off in your taxes or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to be a fucking guy driving a G-Wagon. I just feel like it's such a douchey car.
It's very Persian.
Literally, yeah.
It's very, I think they're good looking cars. But people always tell me that. Like, I know it's like Sky Bree did that. She got like a G-Wagon for the tax write-off. I don't understand how you net more money by buying a G-Wagon. Like, I don't understand how that could be a good financial.
I don't really get it either, but my business manager told me that I should do it.
I guess I hear that from so many like alleged tax professionals, and it seems like they're getting a cut from the fucking Mercedes dealers.
Yeah, I don't really get it either. But when I see a person with a G-Wagon, I just think, oh, they have an LLC and they bought that for the tax write-off.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which is probably not what I should be thinking, but
yeah.
it's largely true. Anyway, Shout out Danny Mullen. Appreciate you, bro.
Here we
Do
go.
this again soon.
Let's do it, man. I'm loving it. I'm looking at the comments right now. A lot of racial stuff.
Adam getting tired of black people. He going with this lame. I already knew that one was coming. Yeah.
Shout out 909 baby, dude.
Me having one friend who doesn't listen to rap is just considered deeply disrespectful by a lot of these people. So shout out to y'all, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm gonna keep trying to make white friends out here.
Elijah, it's because of the weight of the car. I get that, but like, does that offset enough taxes you owed? Because some of these G-Wagons are $300,000. And I mean, if you're Jeff Bezos, maybe you owe enough in taxes that can offset it. But I don't get how you can owe less than that $300,000 cost you. Like, is it taking a $305,000 bite out of your income taxes?
Nah, facts. That's just, I don't know. I'd have to. I'm sure ChatGPT could fill it in for me.
Sure, yeah.
But
why are all the Persians and dirty whores buying G-Wagons? We love sludge lords. Hell yeah.
Shout out to everybody who watched this one.